Hey everyone. I thought I would move this post into my studio for the first time. I've been working on getting this set up so we can do some podcasting and things like that. Anyway, I spoke to you all about my last post about my great grandfather's construction site sign that my boys, Billy and Sammy, and I drove up to Illinois to pick up and got home. After the post I did the last time, I realized there was a few things that I'd like to add, and I had something interesting happen. And that after I posted that to TikTok, I received a call from a man whose father had painted that sign many, many years ago. His name is Mr. Martin. Anyway, I've asked him to send me some more information on his father and the sign, perhaps when the sign would have been painted and things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Also, I wanted to point out at the bottom of the sign, it says materials supplied by Alexander Lumber Company, which is an interesting story in that the story goes that a young sales rep from Alexander Lumber Company stopped by my grandfather and great-grandfather's job site one day and was trying to solicit their business. And apparently he impressed them because they shook hands and made a deal. And my grandfather's never bought a stick of lumber from anybody but Alexander Lumber Company since then. And to kind of seal the deal, they placed the name of Alexander Lumber Company as the supplier on the bottom of their sign. And that relationship lasted several decades. And one of the things that I was taught growing up, and I've heard many times throughout my life, is that one hand washes the other. And it did in this case. They bought their lumber from Alexander Lumber Company. When they called, they didn't wait on deliveries. And in turn, when the lumber trucks showed up, back in the day, everything was unloaded by hand. Whereas today, it's banded and dumped and such. But when the lumber trucks showed up on our job sites, every guy stopped what they were doing and went out and helped the guy to unload the truck. And it was a matter of appreciation for them taking care of us and for us taking care of them by helping along and giving them our business as well. So also on the sign, you'll notice that there's a coat of arms. I'm not sure what each symbol represents, but I know it says Vencer aut Mori on the sign. And looking that up, basically means to conquer or to die, which I find kind of funny in that our logo today says build better. And my thought is that in order to conquer, you need to build better. So the logo of today certainly fits with the logo of my great-grandfathers. So anyhow, I wanted to let you all know that I'll be posting future posts, and we're doing a podcast regarding the construction industry. And I would love for you guys to, if you like the video, to hit like and to follow and post your comments. If you have any questions regarding construction, if you want to go into the construction business, if you're in the construction business and you just want to do better at it, we've been around a long time, and I'd be glad to share some of the information and the stories that we've gathered over 155 years and 6 generations. I also wanted to say that my great-grandfather he was not the founder of Hager Construction. That distinction goes to my great-great-great-grandfather, whose name was Joseph Hager. The company was founded in 1868. And then it was handed down to Joseph's son, William Joseph, who then handed it down to my great-grandfather, William Washington, and then on to my grandfather, Charles William, who I'm named after. My dad skipped out. He worked in the construction company growing up, but once he hit adulthood, he decided he wanted to take a different career path. And so I ultimately took the company from my grandfather, mid-1980s, and I've been at the reins ever since that time. So we've built from coast to coast, as I mentioned before. I received my first license in California in 1988, and we carry a license in California, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, Florida, and of course Texas has no licensing requirements, but We've built just about everything under the sun during that time, and I also own a wood shop, so I enjoy the finish end, and we do all of that in-house on our projects. So I'd like to just share information with you folks, and I would much rather answer to comments than just come up and create things on the fly for you guys. So anything you're interested in. Another thing is, I get a lot of calls from folks that are wanting to build a house, and they'll ask, what do we do? How does the process work? How do we find a builder? How do we find land? An architect? How do we design the house? And I enjoy that as well. So if you're thinking about building a house and you have questions about the process of that, I would also like to hear those questions and comments. So anyway, thank you all very much. Appreciate it.